the other day. Here we go. Welcome to Grit Gym. I've got Dave Full here. We're talking about exercise, nutrition, mindset, recovery, health, life, maybe some business stuff. I don't know. Dave is a business owner. He's an employee at the same time that he is an employer. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's an exerciser. He teaches exercise classes, actually. He's got a little bit of a sweet tooth, so he's a real person. Odd, huh? Weird how people can be real people. And my big question to Dave is just like, how did he find a way to fit this all in over the course of the few extra years that he has on me on this planet?
Well, I told Adam when I came in that it took me about 18 months, and then I determined that life was just about one word only, and that word is balance. So then if I take that word and push it back 40 years, you know, that's what is always a constant struggle. It's you very easily can just take a bicycle wheel and realize that the wheel is always turning, churning any verb.
Well, if you're going anywhere
go with from there.
And we don't really get a choice. We're always going. You know, you're always getting a little older.
But it's as Adam mentioned, I have a horrific sweet tooth. This is a bad time of year for me because there is still some leftover Halloween candy squirreled away in the kitchen, and I find that every evening. Then we get into Thanksgiving, and you know, who wants the cranberry sauce? I want to go right for the pumpkin pie, and gosh, you got to have ice cream for Pete's sake. So, yeah, the balance for me is. And you know, hopefully my mother will not see this, but I have uncles that are large, and I think genetically I might have some of that. So that's been in my face for many years, and that if I can't control that sweet tooth, that something bad's going to happen.
So you have to manage it a little bit. Like we talk a lot about whether you're a moderator or an abstainer. So like, can you go cold turkey, or do you just have to just take just a little bit and be like, okay, I'm done?
My wife Jan, we've been married 38 years, and the beauty of that is that we share a lot of common interests. She's a workout nut. She talked me into running a couple of marathons. I mean, she's a spark plug.
How'd she do that?
How did she do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Rachel could talk me into a marathon.
I had no business running marathons. I mean, my legs are too short. I'm just miserable the whole time. The best part is when you're done.
Yeah, I would think.
But I forgot what I was going to say.
I probably ruined it.
No, that's what happens when you have gray hair.
But yeah, balance, sweet tooth. I knew that I'd get you on the sweet tooth thing. I've known Dave for a while. I don't know, like probably like 10 years.
Almost pushing 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was right. You were probably one of the first people I met when I moved back to Iowa City.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know you 10 years.
Mm.
But what, like, what's balance got to do with the whole thing? So like, you've got all these different things going on. You've got the health game that you've got to pay attention to. You've like, what sparked the interest in the health thing originally anyway? Because you haven't just been doing this for just a few months. You've been doing it as long as I've known you, and I know that you were doing it when Kelsey was little.
Right. I think, you know, in trying to, you gave me a 24-hour notice on this. And that I think when I transferred from a private school to a public school as a teenager, that I was not, I was able to park in the cool kid lot, but I wasn't on the cool kid teams.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is I ended up going up to the gym then, above the workout spot above the gym. And I think that's when it started to actually take off, honest to God. Yeah. So like in high school, senior in high school, I could, those peg things on the wall, I could go around that 3 times.
Oh, no kidding.
I could do the rope to the ceiling of the gym.
Back when they had ropes?
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. And I also thought about this last night too, it's funny. But if you look at my transcript from the University of Iowa, you'll see a class called boxing. It's like, boxing?
They had boxing in college?
Well, I guess so.
Did you take it?
I didn't take it. I took a weightlifting class as a freshman, and the instructor, I did very well, and he goes, man, I teach boxing also. I'm going to sign you up for boxing. You stay in weightlifting. I thought, well, I'm going to get credits for working out. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
duh.
a sweet deal.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So I was 18. I won a weightlifting contest.
What did you win? What was the contest? It's like
Let's see, I
bench, dead, squat.
I benched 3 1/4. I think I weighed 162 pounds.
That's pretty good for 162
Yeah,
pounds.
so a little shit.
You can curse. Shit, ass, damn. What are some of the other ones? We were doing that in here the other night. A bunch of people were. We were trying to list out all the curse words that we knew, and then the guy from the UK walks in. He's like, bam, bam, bam,
yeah,
bam,
yeah.
bam.
Another whole bucket.
Yeah.
full of it.
I was like, wow, this is amazing. It was pretty funny. We were having a good time with it.
Probably my real passion in life, and Adam doesn't even know a whole lot about this, but about 18, 19, I got asked to join a volleyball team,
Oh yeah.
and I started playing volleyball. So when I was a senior in college, I actually played on the club team, and found out I had an attribute that was unusual. So I started jumping rope like 500 times a day, and ended up with a 42-inch vertical.
42-inch verticals are really. That's
Remember my box jumps?
yeah.
Yeah, you had those the other day too.
Yeah. But, I mean, 42-inch vertical. That's almost 4 feet.
Yeah,
That's 3 feet 3 inches.
I could.
Or
I could-
3 feet 6 inches.
I could
I mean.
stuff a ball, and I was 5'10".
Yeah. That's really good.
So I played volleyball for 25 years, and as Adam watched me walk in today, I'm going to have my second hip replaced.
Yeah. It's funny because I think I met you right after you had your first hip
First one.
replaced. Yeah, because I remember like,
Which
who's
is-
this guy showing me his ass? And
Which was 9 years ago. Yeah, nice scar. And I'll be symmetrical.
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
balanced.
Yeah, now we'll be nice and balanced.
Balance. Dual scars. So yeah, the volleyball resulted in 2 replaced hips, 4 knee surgeries, 2 broken ankles, 2 broken feet.
The life of an athlete, right?
But I would do it all over again if I could.
Yeah.
I just loved that sport.
People ask me that about football. They're like, with all the stuff coming out about head
Yeah,
injuries,
yeah,
and like if you're around me long enough, like you might see every once in a while, it feels like somebody's sticking an ice pick in my ear is what it feels like. I mean, just about, if I get it while I'm driving, I've never got one while I'm driving, but I think I would probably have to pull the car over. There's like different things, can't turn my head right a lot of the time, it'll just drop me down the ground. And people are like, would you do it again? And I'm like, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I do it like that. I mean, I don't know if I would go out on the field tomorrow
Yep.
and play against
Well, that's
just
it.
anyone, but
the
I would do it again in a
The
heartbeat.
sport's changed. To not necessarily change subjects, but to complement where we're going, because what we just both agreed to there is that I've been doing a little research on mindfulness.
Yeah. What are you finding out?
Well,
Get your Zen,
yeah, it's just about
chi.
appreciate today, live in the moment, and quit having anxiety attacks on either what we can't do tomorrow, can't control tomorrow, or what we couldn't control yesterday.
Yeah. What's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah. What's it? How is it serving you? Is the question I like to ask myself a lot.
So and I'm getting better at it. I read a passage in the morning, first thing, and I got a little app on my phone that teaches me how to breathe again. The one area that I'm really poor at still is right out there on that vehicle, and that I can't understand how some people can be such worthless drivers.
Oh. So when you get in the car,
Yeah, so the
Cursing
mindfulness goes down the
It's a
tubes
little- yeah.
with driving. But that's, I guess, what I was seeing as a correlation there was the fact that if I could go back and play ball for one day, I'd do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what this life's about, is experiencing it to the fullest.
I totally agree. Well, like it's going to end when we were talking a little bit. We were getting a little deep before we actually hit this, but if you know that it's going to end, which you do, it's going to end at some point.
Yeah.
Then why? And you don't get to take anything with you. Why wouldn't you try to live everything that you possibly could right here, right now? Mm-hmm. You're not. No one's going to be like, "Wow, you really managed your energy and your efforts and your time really well." They're going to be like, you took a lot of action, you lived a lot of experiences,
Right.
you had a great time with the time that you did have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was diagnosed tomorrow with like pancreatic cancer,
Yeah.
first thing I do is probably take out a massive loan and go on a global trip.
Yeah. And just do it like to the nines.
And
Yeah.
see things that are on my bucket list
Yeah.
because there won't be that bucket
And
list.
eat $1,000 meals and
500.
$500 meal.
Yeah, cut back.
I've never eaten a 5,000 or 5,000. I've never eaten a $500 meal, so
Pay for a $500 meal.
I bet it better be amazing. I bet it would be.
It's just.
Oh, you really did? You had one?
Oh yeah, it's an experience. If you have good days in here,
Yeah.
and if you could take that kind of desire and interest when you talk about your quadrants of eating,
Yeah.
and you can have 9, 10, 11 courses, sit there for 3 hours and just
Yeah.
not worry about the nutrition, just that the fact that it's just wow.
Well, if you do, that's one of the things I actually talk about on here very often is that nutrition it's how we survive, but it's also pleasure. Like anything that is based on survival is also nature did this really cool thing and made it part of your greatest pleasures, right? So like reproduction, food, like we watch like fight or flight on some level. Like if you're an adrenaline junkie, you can understand the fight or flight thing being a great pleasure.
Yep.
So like if you can spend the time, you can be extremely present with your food and you can experience your food for everything it is, you're probably going to eat a little bit less, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, there's and that's what I just got done doing last week was, if you sit down, we live in this fast food society. It's
Done for you,
no
yeah.
denying it. Everybody knows it.
Yep.
And that physically, if you put something in your mouth, it physically takes 20 minutes for your mind to accept that something went into your mouth, to go back to your body that says, hey, it's ending up in your stomach. So if you look at the school systems today that give our kids 20 minutes to eat, and they sit down and they eat a lot, they very possibly have just overate because they never had a chance to work through the process.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of we eat at our computers. I'm real guilty of this right now. With the kids are gone, et cetera, but plop, it's on my lap, and I'm watching television.
Yeah. That's one of the strategies we use in here is like no screens, no phone, no tablet, no computer, no TV, just be with your phone.
Excuse me, I just got.
Exactly. But that's what it's like, though. You get that huge distraction, and you get done eating your meal, and it's like when you are eating something really good, and then you have the last bite without realizing it, and you're like,
yeah. In what I was reading last week, the opening paragraph was about, okay, you don't need to be spiritual or religious or any of that happy stuff to exercise this one next little element.
What was it?
Your food is delivered or your food is made. Sit down, look at it, shut your eyes, smell it.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't need to pray. Just acknowledge the fact that you're about to go on a little adventure with this plate of food.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and that's a challenge.
It is really.
7 times, is it, to break a bad habit, to create a good habit? Is that what it takes?
I don't know what the research is around that.
Well, I'm not doing a really good job with the food on my lap because it's still there, and I've only stopped and enjoyed it twice in the last week. Otherwise, I'm just diving right in, and I'm halfway through and go, damn it, I forgot to do that.
It's pretty easy. Yeah. It's pretty easy to just eat it without thinking.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing. Like when you do that, when you take the time, whatever, when you take the time to smell it, to experience it, for you, was it better? Were those 2 meals better?
Oh, absolutely.
Were they better than all the other meals combined?
And the thing is that they also got me into the mindset that says slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah.
And just quick gulping air and slamming it. I'm not in any hurry. Slow down.
What do you find when you slow down like that and you get real right here, right now? Do you find that you are able to get more things done in less time? Or do you find that you're more efficient, or you're?
That's what I was going to say.
By slowing down, you actually end up sort of
more efficient,
being more productive. Let's say.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Yeah, because I'm really good at being busy.
The other thing that I'm bad at is, and I watched a little visual seminar, is that I'm a list maker.
You don't make lists, or you do make lists?
I do make lists.
I make tons of lists.
Yeah, and I'll make a list, and if I do something that's not on that list, I'll add it. And
Yeah.
then I use a highlighter that I mark it out so I can see that I did it.
Yeah. There's actually research on that. Like that
that's
gives you
sick.
it gives you satisfaction. But like almost
Yeah.
all of us do that because it gives you a ton of satisfaction that you did that thing. I crossed one off my list.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So like Adam said, I was at the gym for 2 hours on Saturday. I taught a class. I teach indoor cycling. I taught a class yesterday morning. I got all the stuff done on my list. And yesterday afternoon, I did something I haven't done for years.
What did you do? Sunday afternoon.
I sat in our living room and read a novel.
You read the whole book?
No,
Oh, I was gonna
hour and a
say.
half to finish it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, hour and a half on a weekend. Why? Because you can.
Yeah. How was it?
Fantastic.
What did you read?
I took a nap.
What did you read?
Oh, it's a Vince Flynn. It's a series of
Yeah.
like CIA secret agent type novels. It's
Yeah.
like his 7th or 8th one. It's great stuff. Yeah, it's who I want to be when I grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Mitch Rapp. That's the actor. Just Google it.
Yeah?
Mitch Rapp.
It's like Jack Reacher or something like that.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
Jack Reacher to the nines. Yeah, this guy's so much got more class.
Oh, yeah? It's like, what is it like between Jack Reacher and James Bond?
And this guy's probably better than James Bond.
No kidding. Might have to look into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the author Vince Flynn died last year of cancer.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so they've got a youngster that's picked up and is writing under his name.
Do you want to take a second to promote Pedal for Life?
Sure.
We should have done that at the beginning.
One of the things that Adam, yes, I owned a business for 19 years. Yes, I worked at NCS Pearson for 8 years. But one of the things that I added to my plate was 5 years ago, I had a great nephew. On a Sunday morning, a tree landed on him and killed him. And I shouldn't say killed him. Put him in intensive care, peds intensive care. So my niece and nephew that was on a Sunday, on Tuesday, made the decision to donate his organs. So they did such. There's some verbs in there that I don't want to use. Thursday. And I had some friends that had invited me to ride bikes across the country. We're going to do we're going to do it in three stints. So that summer we rode from Washington, D.C. to Iowa City, and I said, guys, why don't we ride for a reason? Well, let's promote organ donation. It's interesting if you research that. The state of Iowa, on your driver's license, bottom right-hand corner, about 68% of us have agreed that if there's a fatal accident, that the coroner can, hook you up and extend your life through someone else and help and share with someone else. When we rode through West Virginia that year, there's less than 15%.
No way. Because I almost thought 68 sounded a little low.
No. We're like the third in the country. Colorado and Iowa are second, third, and I can't remember who's number one. So that was our first year. The second year, we were invited to ride to New Orleans, to go to the Donate Life convention, and you go through Mississippi, Louisiana,
Was it higher?
and
or
you're
lower?
talking low double digits, 11, 12%.
For real?
Yeah, and
Wow.
you run it, and it's so interesting. Of course, our country's interesting if you want to get into another hour on politics. But yeah, you run into people at a convenience store or a tavern or a grocery store, anywhere, a hotel, and I said, no, I'm not giving my organs to nobody. And it is what it is. So this year we made our second leg of the cross country. We rode from Denver to Iowa City in 10 days. So it's about a 95 mile a day average.
It's pretty good.
And,
Yeah,
and we're
that's
a bunch of old guys.
Almost 100 miles a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a nonprofit called Pedal for Life.
Where can they go to find it?
Yeah, there's a website, Pedal for Life, or better yet, if you're interested, go to Facebook and like that, and you'll see the nice visual documentations of all 3 trips. It's pretty cool. There's some neat stuff on there. To quickly finish that, And no, I don't know much about Facebook, but when we went to New Orleans, my son was helping me, and he called and said, "Dad, you've hit 67,000 likes, shares, and something else." And I go, "Was that good?" He goes,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
"Well, that's real good. You're making an impact. That's your mission statement, just to raise awareness." So I said, "Okay, cool." So this year, when we left Denver, I said, "All right, there's 125,000 people in our country today waiting patiently for an organ.
Yeah.
There's only 4,000 in Canada. 125,000 people in the United States." So I said, "That's our quantifiable goal. We want to get that many likes, shares, and something else."
Yeah.
So when we were finished writing, we hit 177,000.
No kidding.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, considering I think we're like 1,600 or something like that. We're a little under 1,600 for Grit Gym. So to put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this year, early plug here, nobody knows this, but we're going to have a RAGBRAI team.
Good. You should. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I got a charter service lined up that's going to run the whole thing. And
That's the only way I would do.
We're going to publish it
RAGBRAI.
December 1, and we're going to cut it off at 50 members. 50 people raising awareness. Pretty neat, because RAGBRAI is the largest organized bike ride in the whole world.
Is it?
Yeah. So there are
It's
people.
basically like a town moving across.
Well, it can be kind of a rolling Jimmy Buffett party too,
Yeah.
depending on which contingent you're with.
Yeah.
But RAGBRAI has 10, 12, 15,000 riders that register through it, and then there's a bazillion others that I've never registered it.
I've never registered either. I've only done it one day though. But like if you consider like 15,000, I think that's at least 10 times as large as the town that I grew up beside.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty neat when you get in there and they take over the fairgrounds, and the little towns just go ballistic. I mean, of course, if you're riding 50, 75 miles a day, it means you can eat a lot of pie. Sweet tooth.
Drink a lot of beer.
Sweet tooth.
Yeah. Eat whatever you want. So like what have you found along the way to Pedal for Life? Like has it changed your perception on anything? People, or like one of the questions I had when you were going through that is, did you ever ask anybody why they wouldn't give up their organs? When they say, "I ain't giving my organs to nobody," like why? Is it a religious thing? Is it a relationship with your body thing? Is it a selfish thing? Or is it a non-selfish thing? Is it a...
And if I could answer that, I'd say I've heard all of those.
Yeah.
My religion won't allow me. What? No, I ain't. And it's, listen to the verb. I ain't giving my organs to nobody. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Or yeah, is it an education thing? Like, or is it a, like, what, I don't know.
Because if
I would have so many questions for somebody that's just
Yeah.
like, "No, I would never do that." Like, what do you mean you'd never do that? Like I want to understand. I'm not trying to argue with somebody that doesn't want to do it, but I really want to understand, like, because my head just doesn't quite.
Right. Well, so my intention, if something happened tomorrow to me, is I'm going to donate the organs that are donatable,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to give the balance of my body to University of Iowa hospitals for science.
Cool.
Okay, because then they dispose of it. Cost.
Zero cost to your family, right?
This is going to sound really, really crazy, but I'm claustrophobic, and I can't stand the idea of being buried,
Yeah.
even though I'm going to be dead. But still.
The idea today ruins
Still.
it. Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Well, being
So I
being
wanna
in
be
a box and
cremated.
getting cremated,
I
or
want to be cremated, and it is against Catholic religion to be cremated.
is it?
Yeah. So, but if you can donate your body to science, and then they cremate it.
You get out of that guilt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not super religious, so it doesn't really doesn't even matter to me. But yeah, it's a pretty wild thought. And just thinking at the end in general, like, it is kind of a wild thought to me though. But like a lot of people think that that's like morbid or like cold or dark, and I'm like, I don't think that. Like, I think like it makes me appreciate right here, right now, that much more. It just expands my presence in this moment.
I also read this sometime this summer that there's now some physicists that have documented energy leaving your body as you expire.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So now there's scientific data that says
Pointing
that
towards, yeah.
you do move on to another
Yeah.
life.
I was just, we were just in a conversation about this, was it yesterday? But just about this subject, like, do you move on? Do you, cause like, I don't, like, I'll get into conversations with people who are like deeply religious, and it sounds like I'm like super atheist, but I'm not. But the only thing that I'll debate pieces of the Bible and the integrity of those pieces. I don't debate the afterlife or that there could be some kind of spiritual universe, or that there's like a God or a supreme being or anything like that. Like there has to be some kind of, like, where were you before you were born?
Okay, so you understand a light year, right? 115,000 miles is...
I don't remember what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
we had to measure the speed of light in college, and I don't even remember what
But
it was.
if you Google the furthest away galaxy that we've been able to now, I guess, determine it's there, it's like 68,000 light years away.
Yeah,
Whoa!
yeah. It's like you're looking back in time.
I'm just trying to, vision getting from here to Davenport. Yeah, exactly. You're going back in
Yeah.
time, or you're going forward in time.
Yeah. Or is time even really a thing?
Ooh,
I know.
we need a beer.
What was there before time? Is time really real, or is it all relative? Yeah, we got Rachel's birthday was this weekend. She turned 30. So it was kind of a big day. I planned like this big surprise party with all of her friends and her family and stuff. So I looked like a really cool guy this weekend.
Good.
Yeah, it was good.
Good for
It
you.
was, I'm taking credit for her birthday. But everybody got drunk when we were talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, is time real? Because like, if I take off in a spaceship and I just go fast that way, and then that spaceship I'm going to age faster than the people on that spaceship will. And we were like, oh man, that's crazy.
Well, is it true or not?
Well, that's actually a tested thing.
Right.
Yeah, if they took two planes and they went the opposite directions, and they both started a stopwatch at the same time, then they came back and the watches were different.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, I'm a pretty simple guy. I just let that. Just deal with today. Back to the mindfulness.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I go back and forth between like that and like sometimes I'll be like, do you know the Ron Swanson? Do you ever watch Parks and Rec? It's Ron Swanson's just a really funny character on the show, but he's like, I'm a simple man. I like pretty dark-haired women and breakfast food.
What's that noise?
I'm guessing it's Wildwood.
Okay.
Itching for that beer?
No. Just wondering what it was.
Yeah. Well, anything else, anything you want to leave the world with on today's little podcast thing that we do?
No, it was fun being here.
Yeah?
It's good seeing you. Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Real men shake hands.
We'll hug
Do
you after
manly
this thing
stuff.
gets turned off.
But no, Pedal for Life, it's just pedalforlife.org.
Yep. Pedalforlife.org for both the website and Pedal for Life. You'll find it on Facebook.
And on Facebook, go over there and like it. I can actually put a link to it. I think.
Cool.
We'll test my.
Good.
I'm not very techie, so we'll see.
You're not?
I just push the button,
Oh,
and it counts down to 3, and then I talk.
It's further along than I am.
Just pushing buttons,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's going to happen with it. So, anyway, smile and wave.
All right.
All right, thanks
Have
for
a
being
great
here,
day.
guys. As always, please like and comment and share. Send this out to everybody that you know. I think this was a pretty good talk today. If you hated today's talk, still share it and just say why you hated it. And if you love today's talk, please share it. And if you're indifferent, share it anyway, because then it just doesn't matter. But, all right. Thanks, guys. We'll be back actually interviewing Rachel tomorrow, so that'd be really good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow.